October 25, 2024. Deep in the Angolan bush, silence hangs thick over a dirt road cut through red dust and dry grass. What began as a missionary journey of faith will end here, in betrayal, deception, and death. Bo Shroyer was a man defined by service, first as a Minnesota police officer, later as a missionary father of four. In 2021, he left behind American comfort for the rugged unpredictability of Angola, believing his work could change lives. Those who knew him remember a quiet strength, a steady devotion. But behind that dedication, unseen cracks were beginning to form, cracks that would soon be pried open by love, lust, and greed. Jackie Shroyer followed her husband overseas with faith in her heart, but isolation in her eyes. Far from friends and familiarity, life in Angola was difficult. Internet was unreliable, income was tight, and the long days felt longer still. Neighbors described her as withdrawn. The mission field that once united the couple was slowly dividing them. And into that distance stepped a new figure, the family's hired bodyguard, Bernardino Elias. What began as friendship became intimacy. Within months, Jackie and Bernardino were bound by more than trust. They were plotting a future without Bo. Messages deleted. Calls made in whispers. Meetings held beyond the mission compound. Somewhere between desire and desperation, an idea emerged. One that would cross the line from betrayal to murder. That morning, Bo Shroyer drove out with his wife and the bodyguard for what was supposed to be a supply errand. Along the road, they came upon men who appeared stranded beside a vehicle. The story would later reveal, they weren't strangers at all. Jackie claimed she stepped into the bushes for a brief moment. When she returned, chaos had unfolded. But police would soon see through the performance. She hadn't stumbled into tragedy, she had scripted it. Within hours, local police responded. The missionary community was devastated. News traveled from Angola to Minnesota, disbelief rippling across two continents. How could the woman who shared Bo's faith and family be connected to his death? Angolan detectives began piecing together a puzzle of money, messages, and deceit. Phone records linked Jackie to Bernardino in the days leading up to the murder. Surveillance from nearby fuel stations placed their car near the scene during planning trips. Then came the confession. Bernardino Elias admitted the affair, and the deal, $50,000 promised for the killing. A U.S.-made knife, allegedly given by Jackie, tied the conspiracy together. When Jackie Shroyer was first questioned, she appeared calm, too calm. Sitting beneath the harsh fluorescent lights of an Angolan police station, her face betrayed little emotion. She spoke of grief, of shock, of confusion. Her tone was measured, almost rehearsed, as if she had practiced these words long before the moment arrived. But investigators were already tracing her digital trail, calls, texts, and quiet transactions that didn't fit her story. Each new piece of evidence chipped away at the image of a heartbroken widow. The messages she thought were deleted resurfaced. The people she thought would stay silent began to speak. It was Bernardino's confession that broke the silence entirely. He told detectives about the affair, the money, and the meetings they shared in secret. Piece by piece, the narrative shifted, and the woman who once knelt beside her husband in prayer was now the alleged architect of his death. In early 2025, the case reached Angola's Lubango District Court, a quiet building suddenly thrust into the global spotlight. Inside, the air was thick with anticipation. Journalists filled every seat, cameras ready to capture the final act of a story that had shaken both faith and community. As the prosecution laid out its evidence, the affair, the payment trail, the reconnaissance trips, the jury sat in silent disbelief. Jackie sat motionless, her eyes fixed on the floor as witnesses recounted the final moments of Tony's life. When the judge's voice finally broke through the silence, the words fell like iron. Guilty. Her expression didn't change, but the room did. Gasps, whispers, a faint sob from the gallery. The court sentenced Jackie Shroyer to 24 years in prison. Bernardino Elias and his accomplices received between 21 and 22. For the missionary community that had once embraced the Shroyers, it was more than a verdict. It was a reckoning. Questions of trust, faith, and deception lingered in the air long after the gavel struck its final blow. Bo's relatives in the United States struggled to comprehend the betrayal. Their 4 children left behind are now cared for by extended family and supported by faith communities. What was once a family built on devotion now stands as a testament to loss. In Angola, locals remember Bo as gentle and selfless, a man who gave everything to serve. In Minnesota, church candles burn for him still. Prosecutors called it greed. Psychologists might call it desperation, a craving for control after years of feeling trapped. For Jackie, the mission field became a cage. The affair offered escape. But freedom gained through blood is only another form of prison. Every crime of betrayal begins in the heart long before it reaches the hands. Jackie Shroyer's story is not just about murder. It's about the slow erosion of trust, the darkness that grows in secrecy, and the faith that could not survive deceit. In the end, justice found its way, not through vengeance but through truth. The story of Bo and Jackie Shroyer reminds us, even in places built for faith and redemption, darkness can hide in plain sight. If you're drawn to true stories that reveal the dark corners of the human mind, subscribe and join us for more deep crime files.